Family drama is nothing new in hip-hop, but when your last name is Harris, every move you make becomes front-page news. King Harris, the outspoken son of T.I. and Tiny, has been at the center of controversy for years now. From public arguments caught on Instagram live to his unpredictable behavior at family events, King has always given the internet something to talk about. But this time, the whispers are not about his antics, his music, or even his wild personality. This time, the whispers are about love, secrecy, and a shocking claim that his own mother, Tiny, allegedly went behind the scenes, hired goons, and forced King's rumored boyfriend to disappear. Yes, you heard that right. The internet is buzzing with speculation that Tiny, desperate to protect her family's image and reputation, allegedly interfered in her son's personal life in the most dramatic way possible. The question is, did she really do it? And if she did, what does that say about the lengths this family is willing to go to keep their empire intact? Tonight, we're diving deep into the gossip, the speculation, and the dangerous rumors that have fans questioning just how far the Harrises will go to control their narrative. To understand why this story has become such a wildfire, you have to understand the image the Harris family has been selling for years. T.I., the self-proclaimed King of the South, built his career on rap dominance, business ventures, and his role as a father who is always front and center in his kids' lives. Tiny, a respected singer and member of the legendary R&B group Escape, positioned herself as the glue that held the family together, balancing her own career with the responsibilities of being a wife and mother. Together, they didn't just live their lives, they turned them into entertainment, opening up their home for reality TV and selling the public on the idea that even with fame and money, family always comes first. But as we all know, reality TV never tells the whole truth. Behind the smiles, there have always been cracks. T.I. has faced accusations, legal trouble, and rumors of infidelity. Tiny has been painted as the long-suffering but loyal partner who endured it all for the sake of love and family. And the kids? Well, King Harris quickly became the most polarizing of the bunch. Fans either love him for his unfiltered, rebellious energy or criticize him for acting entitled and reckless. No matter which side you fall on, one thing is clear: King has always refused to play by the rules of the family brand. And that, according to gossip blogs, might be exactly why his personal life has become the center of such explosive allegations. The spark that ignited this firestorm came from whispers about King's love life. The rumor? That King Harris wasn't just casually dating, but had a boyfriend. For some fans, this was shocking. For others, it was just another chapter in King's unpredictable story. But for the Harris family, whose reputation has been carefully crafted for decades, this rumor allegedly sent shockwaves. According to anonymous insiders, this wasn't about King experimenting or just having fun. This was a real relationship. Supposedly, he was spending time with this person, introducing him to friends, and making it known in private circles that this was more than just a fling. But when those whispers started reaching gossip blogs and Twitter threads, the narrative began to spin out of control. Fans debated endlessly, was it true? Was this another internet exaggeration? Or was King really stepping into a relationship that could reshape how the public viewed the Harris family forever? And that's when the darker layer of the story appeared. Some blogs began to claim that Tiny herself decided she wasn't going to let this happen, that she wasn't going to sit back and let her son's rumored relationship become headline news. And that's where the goon story comes in. This is the part of the story that has fans' jaws on the floor. Allegedly, Tiny made calls. She allegedly reached out to people close to her, people who handle things quietly, and gave them one mission: make sure King's boyfriend was out of the picture. Now, depending on who you listen to, this mission played out in different ways. Some say the boyfriend was approached directly, told in no uncertain terms that continuing to see King would lead to serious consequences. Others claim he was pressured through his family, with quiet warnings to stay away for his own safety. And the most extreme rumor, that he was physically intimidated, made to understand that he had no place in the Harris world. Again, all of this is unconfirmed gossip. But once the words Tiny and goons started being mentioned in the same breath, the internet didn't need confirmation to run wild. Think about it. Tiny has always been portrayed as the protective mother. She's defended her kids publicly. She's clapped back at critics online. She's done what mothers do, protect her children. But the idea of crossing the line into allegedly hiring muscle to interfere in her son's personal life, that shifts the narrative from protective mom to mastermind of a cover-up. And whether it's true or not, the rumor has stuck like glue. Fans didn't have to wait long to notice that something was off with King himself. Around the time these rumors started picking up steam, his social media presence got even more chaotic than usual. He started posting cryptic messages about trust, betrayal, and people trying to control his life. He lashed out at critics, defended his independence, and hinted at conflicts with family members without ever naming names. Now, if you connect the dots, it's easy to see why fans believe these posts were about his relationship being sabotaged. One post in particular sparked speculation when King wrote about people being fake and trying to play with his life like it's a brand. To his followers, that sounded like a direct shot at his parents, at Tiny specifically, for allegedly treating his relationship as a threat to the family's public image. Whether that's what he meant or not, the timing was enough to fuel the gossip fire. The alleged boyfriend himself, gone, disappeared, vanished from the conversation almost overnight. For someone who was supposedly spending time with King and starting to become part of the circle, the silence was deafening. No posts, no sightings, no cryptic responses. Just gone. That sudden disappearance only added credibility to the rumors. Fans asked, did he walk away on his own? Did he decide the pressure wasn't worth it? Or did the goons do their job and make sure he had no choice but to cut ties? Nobody knows for sure. But the result was the same. King's alleged relationship ended abruptly, and Tiny's name was at the center of every theory about why. Here's where things get deeper. For years, T.I. and Tiny have controlled their family's narrative. They've put their lives on TV, written their own storylines, and managed to keep the ugliest truths behind closed doors. But this scandal, if true, shows just how far that control might extend. It's not just about protecting their image from outside forces. It's about controlling their own children's lives, even if it means interfering in ways that cross dangerous lines. Fans online are divided. Some argue that Tiny was just being a mom, stepping in to protect her son from a relationship she didn't approve of. Others say this is manipulation, plain and simple, using power and intimidation to erase her son's autonomy. And then there are those who believe the whole thing is a fabrication, a rumor blown out of proportion by gossip blogs desperate for clicks. But here's the truth. Whether it's real or not, the damage is done. The Harris family name is now entangled in yet another scandal that paints them as anything but picture perfect. For King, this situation could be the breaking point. He's always lived in his parents' shadow, criticized for being privileged while trying to carve his own path. But this alleged interference in his personal life could push him even further away. Already, fans say he's been distancing himself from family appearances, focusing on building his own brand and embracing the rebellious image that sets him apart from T.I. and Tiny's carefully crafted empire. And let's be real, King is outspoken. If these rumors have even a shred of truth, it's only a matter of time before he addresses them directly. Maybe in an Instagram rant, maybe in music, maybe in an interview. But when he does, it could either confirm the speculation or turn it into an even bigger storm. This scandal isn't just about the Harris family. It speaks to a larger truth about the entertainment industry. Behind the glamour and the smiles, families in the spotlight often go to extreme lengths to protect their legacies. We've seen it before: secrets hidden, relationships erased, narratives manipulated to keep the brand intact. If Tiny really did send goons to erase her son's relationship, then it's not just family drama. It's a playbook for how the industry silences anything that doesn't fit the story they want to sell. And that raises the biggest question of all. If this is what happens in public families like the Harrises, how much is happening behind closed doors that we never hear about? Well, the story really started with whispers online that King Harris was spending a lot of time with a particular young man. Somebody fans began labeling as his boyfriend. At first, it was written off as gossip. People assumed it was just trolls making things up to embarrass King, because we all know the internet loves nothing more than to stir the pot with celebrity kids. But as more little pieces of evidence started stacking up, pictures, hangouts, cryptic posts, the rumors became harder to ignore. Fans began debating, is this King's boyfriend? Is this just a close friend? Or is this another clout-chasing situation where someone is trying to attach themselves to the Harris name? For King, who already has a complicated relationship with public perception, the rumor added more fuel to his image as the rebellious one in the family. And for his parents, if these whispers were true, it represented something much bigger: a direct challenge to the image they've spent years creating. It's one thing when your kid gets into fights or goes viral for reckless behavior. That can be laughed off as kids being kids. But when your son's personal life and relationships start making headlines, that's a whole new level of family business hitting the blogs. And according to this alleged boyfriend, that's when things went left. According to gossip outlets, this alleged boyfriend has gone so far as to file a police report, saying he believes his life is in danger. Imagine that for a second. Imagine being so afraid that you feel the only way to protect yourself is to involve law enforcement. The young man reportedly told police that ever since news of his relationship with King started buzzing, strange things began happening. He allegedly noticed cars parked outside his home that didn't belong to anyone in his neighborhood. He claimed he was followed while running errands. And most disturbingly, he says he received direct threats telling him to stay away from King or risk the consequences. Now, here's where the story really explodes. He apparently told the police that he believes T.I. and Tiny themselves are behind these threats, or at least that people close to them are acting on their behalf. He reportedly said that he feels like T.I. and Tiny are using their influence, their connections, and maybe even their street ties to force him out of King's life. Think about how terrifying that must feel. You're not just dealing with an angry parent, you're dealing with people who are wealthy, powerful, connected, and have a history of knowing how to move in both the industry and the streets. If you truly believe those kinds of people are after you, the fear is real. Now the million-dollar question everyone's asking is, why? Why would T.I. and Tiny allegedly go to such extremes over their son's relationship? Well, let's start with image. For years, T.I. has built his brand on being a man's man, a Southern rapper with credibility, toughness, and influence. For someone like that, the idea of his son being in a relationship that doesn't align with that hyper-masculine image could feel like a direct challenge to everything he's tried to build. Even if King is just doing his own thing, T.I. might see it as a reflection on himself. Then there's Tiny. We all know she's extremely protective of her kids. Some people believe she'd go to any length to make sure they stay on the path she thinks is best for them. If she felt like this alleged boyfriend was a distraction, a bad influence, or even just someone who could damage King's reputation, she might see it as her duty to step in. And finally, let's not forget the money. The Harris family isn't just a family, they're a brand. Between music, television, endorsements, and their influence, they've got an image to maintain. Anything that threatens that image becomes a problem. And if this alleged relationship was going to bring more controversy, they might have allegedly decided to eliminate the problem altogether. It's a dark possibility, but one that fits the narrative of why this young man says he had no choice but to involve the police. And then there's King himself. Around the time these allegations surfaced, fans noticed King posting cryptic messages online. He wrote about people trying to control him. He wrote about fake love and not being able to trust even the people closest to him. And he even hinted that sometimes family can be the biggest enemy. Now, he didn't name names. He didn't confirm anything. But when you line those posts up with the timeline of the boyfriend's alleged police complaint, it's hard not to see a connection. Was King indirectly calling out his parents? Was he frustrated that his relationship was being sabotaged? Or was he just venting about the constant drama in his life? The truth is, nobody knows for sure. But in the world of celebrity gossip, timing is everything. And the timing here is just too messy to ignore. So here we are. A family once celebrated for their unity, now caught in the middle of yet another scandal. King Harris, rumored to have been in a relationship his mother allegedly didn't approve of. Tiny, accused of going as far as hiring goons to make that relationship disappear. And a boyfriend who has gone silent, leaving fans to wonder if he left by choice or by force. Was Tiny really protecting her son? Or was she protecting the Harris brand at the expense of his happiness? Did King lose someone he cared about, or was this relationship never real to begin with? And most importantly, if these rumors are true, what does that mean for the future of this family's carefully built legacy? One thing is certain, the truth has a way of coming out. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sooner or later, the pieces fall into place. Until then, we're left with rumors, speculation, and a cautionary tale about love, loyalty, and control in the spotlight. So now it's your turn. Do you believe Tiny really interfered in King's relationship? Do you think she would go as far as hiring goons to make someone disappear? Or is this just another case of the internet creating drama where there is none? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate isn't just about the Harris family, it's about the power dynamics in celebrity culture itself.